Hi everyone, this is teacher Sandra. So now we will continue with the section C of ACS Junior Primary 6 2019 CA1 paper. So this question, Tom has some $2 and $5 notes. He has twice as many $2 notes as $5 notes. He has $504 altogether. So let's take a look at the information that we have. We have the value, we have twice, which twice tells us the units, and we have the total value, which is 504. So this question, units times value, or you can think of it as sets. So basically what this twice tells us is that for every two $2 notes, there will be one $5 notes. So how does one set look like? One set would look like two $2 notes and one $5 notes. Okay, so then there are multiple sets of these, and the total value adds up to $504. Alright? So first thing we need to do is to find out the value in one set. So if you have two $2 notes and one $5 note, total in one set is $9. So you have many sets of these $9. 9 and 9 and 9 and 9 and 9, add everything up, they add up to 504. So next we need to find out how many sets there are. So we take $504 divided by $9 in a set to find out how many sets there are. So 504 divided by 9 is 56. This tells us the number of sets, which means this repeats 56 times. The question is looking for the number of $2 notes. So let's go back to one set. In one set, we have two $2 notes. So therefore, if we have 56 sets, and there are two $2 notes in each set, so 56 times 2, 112. That's the answer. Question 19. Kelvin and Susie had some game cards at first. Kelvin gave 1/4 of his cards to Susie. After that, Susie gave 1/5 of her cards to Kelvin. In the end, Kelvin had 45 cards and Susie had 36 cards. So how many cards did Kelvin have at first? So if you notice, this question is actually working backwards because we don't know how many cards they have at first. In fact, that's what we need to find. And we know how many cards they each have in the end. So working backwards, let's start writing down the information. We have Kelvin and Susie. So Kelvin is 45, Susie is 36. Then we work backwards. Remember that when we're working backwards, we do the opposite of what the question says. So over here, it says that Susie had given 1/5 of her cards to Kelvin. So if Susie had given 1/5 of her cards to Kelvin, means Susie was left with 4/5 of her cards. Okay, which means over here, this is 4/5 of Susie. So 36 is actually 4/5. So Susie had given it away, right, to Kelvin. Now we need to take that 1/5 back from Kelvin. So we need to find out what is 1/5 of Susie. If 4/5 of Susie is 36, 1/5 of Susie would be 36 divided by 4, which is 9. So this is the 1/5 of Susie that we need to take back from Kelvin. So we take 9 back from Kelvin, pass it back to Susie. So this is 36. Susie has 45. So we're done with this step. Okay, let's go further backwards. Kelvin gave 1/4 of his cards to Susie. So if Kelvin had given 1/4 of his cards to Susie, means Kelvin was left with 3/4 of his cards. So this part over here, 36, represents 3/4 of Kelvin. And again, because we're working backwards, Kelvin had given 1/4 to Susie. We need to now take back that 1/4 from Susie and return to Kelvin. So then I need to find out what is 1/4 of Kelvin. So if 3/4 of Kelvin is 36, 1/4 of Kelvin would be 36 divided by 3, which is 12. So this I need to take back from Susie and give it back to Kelvin. 33, 48. The question is looking for Kelvin at first, therefore 48 is our answer. Next we have question 20. So we have two containers, a rectangular one and a cubical one. The rectangular container, we are told the measurements 15 by 10 by 8 cm and is 3/4 filled with water. And this water is actually poured into the empty cubical container of side 9 cm until it is full without spilling. So what is the volume of the water left in the rectangular container? So first we can find out what is the volume of water in the rectangular container. Tells us that it's 3/4 full. So 3/4 times length times breadth times height. So 15 times 10 times 8 times 3/4 is 900. So we have 900 cubic centimeters of water in here. So let's find out the volume of, so capacity of cubical container. Length times breadth times height. So that's 729. So this amount of water in here, this container can fill this one, 729. So if this amount of water is poured into here, this is what we have left in the rectangular container. This is the answer. Next, question 21, angles again. This is a parallelogram ABCD. ABCD, a parallelogram. So parallelogram means we have two pairs of parallel lines, one pair, two pairs. Okay, so it's being folded. So one thing to note, if it's being folded, this angle is the same as this angle. And if this angle is y, this angle is y. If this angle is x, this angle is x. So let's see, what can we find out? You have parallel lines. So over here we have interior angles. What's interior angles? It means if you have a pair of parallel lines and the line going across, do you see a C here? These two angles, here and here, make up 180 degrees. Alright? So which means this angle and these will make up 180 degrees. So I need to find out what's angle A, B, C. So angle ABC is equals to 180 degrees minus 111 degrees, which is 69 degrees. So this makes up 69 degrees. So from here we can actually find out what x is. Angle x will be 69 degrees minus 27 degrees, whole thing divided by 2 because we have two x's. The question wants us to find one x. So 69 minus 27 divided by 2 gives me 21 degrees. This is angle x. Okay, next let's find angle y. How can we find that? Okay. Now if this is 111, angles, opposite angles in the parallelogram would be equal. So this is 111 degrees as well. And if this is 111, when this is being folded up, this is the same angle. So this is 111. 111. So if you see here, we have a triangle. So angles in a triangle make up 180 degrees. So I already know what x is. I can find y. So angle y would be 180 degrees. Take away 111 degrees. Take away angle x, which is 21 degrees. So 180 minus 111 minus 21. Angle y is 48 degrees. 21 degrees and 48 degrees. Question 22. It's a ratio question. We have box A and B containing apples and oranges. So we have the ratio of fruits in A to the ratio of the number of fruits in B. So let me write down the ratio. We have A is to B, 8 is to 5. Next, we know the ratio of apples to oranges inside box A. Okay, so under box A, I have apples to oranges is 1 is to 3. Next, we know that 7 out of 10 of the fruits in B are apples. Now, if 7 out of 10 of the fruits in B are apples, this tells us that 3/10 of the fruits in B are oranges. So from there, I have my ratio for B as well. Inside box B, apples is to oranges. Apples is 7 out of 10, so that gives me 7U. And 3/10, which is 3U, would be oranges. Then my clue is 72 oranges in box A. Okay. Let me just hold on right there. Let me just try to sort out my ratios here. See, I have 3 ratios here. Let me just try to make sense of them. Box A, 8 units. Over here, my total units for box A, 4 units. This is supposed to be the same as this. So let me make sense of it by multiplying by 2, by 2, by 2. So this becomes 2 is to 6 is to 8. So now this now is the same as this. Done. Now, total units in B, 7 plus 3, 10. Okay, 10, this is 5. Oh no, they need to be the same. So let me make sense of it by multiplying this. Let's make B the same. So I need to times 2. Times 2, this needs to be 10, 16. Okay, so let me check. B is now done. This and this same. Okay, but because I multiplied, now my A has changed. This is 16, right? Okay, let me change this to 16. So I need to times 2 again. So this is 4 is to 12 is to 16. Let me finalize. Yes, this is done. Okay, so I don't want the rest anymore. Let me just strike them out so we don't get confused. So what I'm going to use would be this, this, and this. Okay, now my ratio is sorted out. I'll go look for my clue. 72 oranges in box A, 72 oranges in box A. So that's represented by 12 units. So 12 units is 72. Okay, so 1 unit would be 72 divided by 12, which is 6. The question wants us to find the number of oranges in box B. Oranges in box B, 3 units. So I simply need to find out what 3 units is. Would be 6 times 3, 18. That's the answer. Okay, question 23. This is, okay. Let me just write down the information that we have. 6 long rulers cost $8. So 6 long rulers and then 6L, okay? They cost $8. And a pack of 4 shorts, they cost $3. Now in part A, Justin bought an equal number of short and long rulers. So now we need to focus on finding the lowest common multiple for 6 long and 4 short, for 6 and 4. Okay, so let me go on. So 12. So one set is 6, right? So 2 sets will be 12, and that will cost me $16. So 4 short, that's 1 set. 2 sets will be 8 short, which is $6. 3 sets will be 12 short, which is 3 times 3, $9. So since Justin bought an equal number of short and long rulers, short and long both are 12. Okay, and we can call this one set, meaning in one set we can take it as 12 long and 12 shorts. Now he spent $126 more on the long rulers. Now over here in one set he spent $16 on the 12 long rulers, and he spent $9 on the 12 short rulers. He spent 16 minus 9, $7 more. Now there are multiple sets of this. I'm not saying that he bought 12 long and 12 short, but this is one set since this makes equal. So they will have to be multiples of this. So since the difference between this one set now is $7, and the total difference is $126, we're able to find out how many sets Justin bought. So $126 divided by $7. So 126 divided by 7 gives us 18. This tells us the number of sets. So how many long rulers did he buy? In one set here, 12 long. So if we know that there are 18 sets, $216. That's the answer for part A. Okay, next, for part B. Mabel spent an equal amount of money on the long and short rulers. Now instead of buying an equal number of rulers, this Mabel, she spent an equal amount of money. So again, let me just write down the two different sets. So 6 long, $8, 4 short, $3. Now instead of making the quantity the same, instead of making the rulers the same, I'm going to focus on making the dollars the same. Because Mabel spent an equal amount of money, I need to have these two the same. So 8 and 3, the lowest common multiple of 8 and 3 would be 24. So I'm going to change this to 24. So in order to get 24, I need to multiply by 3. So which means on the left side, I'll multiply by 3 as well. This tells me that this is 3 sets, okay? So 18 long. And I'm going to have this 24 as well. This is a multiply by 8. And I will multiply by 8 here as well. So this is 32 short. So this is now our one set. See, the amount is now the same. So what fraction of the rulers she bought were short? So previously in paper 1, I mentioned, some of you get confused which number to put in the denominator and which number to leave as the numerator of something. This is your denominator. Of the rulers means of the total rulers. So total rulers would be 18 plus 32. Total rulers 15. So that is your denominator. They're looking for the short ones. This will be the numerator. So what they want would be actually short rulers out of the total rulers. Okay, so short rulers would be 32. Total rulers 50. And remember to simplify. 32 out of 50. That's 16 out of 25. And that's our answer for part B. Okay, so question 24, we have Sammy and Tim. This is also a ratio question. So I'm gonna start writing down the information that we have. Sammy had 4/5 of what Tim had. So we know Sammy is to Tim is 4:5. They had lunch together and they shared the cost of the meal. So this is what they had in total. Okay. Meal. Tim paid 5/7 of the cost of the meal. Okay, so we have, let's do Sammy to Tim again. So if Tim paid 5/7 of the meal, means Sam paid the remaining 2/7, correct? So Sam is 2, Tim would be 5. Then they say that Sammy used 1/3 of his money to pay for the share. So let's see. So let's say Sammy, we have spent is to left. Sammy used 1/3, so he spent 1 and he's left with 2/3. So let's see what we can do here. For Sammy, spend is to left, right? Let me put a total column. So Sammy actually has 3 units, but over here, Sammy has 4. So let me try to make sense of this by making them the same. So the lowest common multiple of 4 and 3 is 12, so I'm gonna have to multiply by 3. Is to 15. Over here I multiply by 4. This is 12, 8, 4. So let me strike that out, I don't want that anymore. Next, Sammy spent 4 units. Over here it says that Sammy spent 2. So well, these two are supposed to be the same. So let me make sense of this by making this 4 as well. So to make it 4, I times 2. So this becomes 10 and 4 there. So again, I don't want this. So Tim had $10 left. In total, Tim had 15 units and Tim spent $10. So Tim had 15 units at first and he spent, sorry, not $10. He spent 10 units on a meal. 15 units minus 10, he's left with 5 units. And the 5 units would represent the $10 left. So 5 units is $10. 1 unit would be $10 divided by 5, which is $2. They want us to find how much did the meal cost. The meal is the total of S&T, which is 4 and 10, which is 14 units. So 14 units would be $2 times 14, which is $28. And that's the answer.